Hello everyone. So in this Study Medic IBCLC revision rush series for IBCLC exams, we are going to discuss in next few minutes about very important topics which are concerned related to breastfeeding after first baby. So let's see what does that mean. So in this session, we are going to talk about breastfeeding after first baby, which is feeding during pregnancy. So the mother is breastfeeding and the mother is now pregnant. So how do we go ahead in that? Again, we would talk about what is tandem feeding, how to do tandem feeding, what are the benefits, what could be the challenges, and very important topic for exam is contraception. So while you are breastfeeding, what are the different methods of contraception which a mother can resume to, and what are the effects and side effects? So let's begin with contraception overview. Now, we should be always telling the mother that during breastfeeding, fertility is unpredictable. We cannot gauge that with breastfeeding, exclusive breastfeeding also, till when the mother can be, not fertile. So that's unpredictable. Secondly, because of this reason, it is very important that the mother is counseled quite early. So usually on the second or third visit to the lactation consultant, we should be talking about contraception to the mother. Now, when do we have return of fertility? As in, if the mother asks us when it would be possible for her to start planning for the second baby, or when she feels she could be, ready enough to get pregnant again. So that depends on the feeding pattern. And we have to stress upon the point that if the mother is not menstruating, that doesn't mean that mother is not ovulating, because ovulation occurs before menstruation starts again after the delivery. So there are times when the mother has not got her menstruation or not got her periods after her delivery, around 7 months, 8 months, but she starts ovulating and there are high chances that she can be pregnant again. Temporary milk supply changes could be there, and because of that, the mother is fertile again, quite unpredictable. Very important point which we should be discussing in this detail here, and as well as a lactational consultant, our duty to tell the mother about it is LAM awareness, which is lactational amenorrhea method awareness. Now, what is LAM? LAM means lactation amenorrhea method. This is a temporary form of birth control. A mother who has delivered a baby and is exclusively breastfeeding and below the age of 6 months, she can be infertile. Like she's this is a natural form of contraception which actually she'll be using. And what are the specific conditions which has to be fulfilled to say that the mother is having lactational amenorrhea? So first of all, we have to stress upon the point that this is a very temporary method of birth control. Second thing is that it is only valid, or this method is only talked about, or it comes into the picture only if the baby is below 6 months of age and the mother is exclusively and frequently breastfeeding. There is no periods or no spotting at all, and usually the feeding schedule is during the daytime at least 4 hourly she's feeding, and during the night time she's feeding 5 to 6 hourly. So the prerequisite for having lactational amenorrhea methods are exclusive breastfeeding, frequent breastfeeding, infant to be less than 6 months, there should be complete amenorrhea, not even spotting, and it is only 98% effective. That should be stressed upon and told the mother at every visit to the lactation consultant. Now, what are the other methods which a breastfeeding mom can use? So these are the methods which are safe. Barrier method is anytime safe during pregnancy as well as during delivery. Intrauterine devices, IUD, arm implants, birth control shots, progesterone only pills or estrogen only pills. So let's see one by one about these topics, and what are their effects during breastfeeding? So let's see here. Now, lactational amenorrhea method, as we discussed, this is only when the mother is exclusively and frequently breastfeeding, and the infant should be below 6 months of age. It doesn't have any effect on the supply. Rather, it increases the supply because it's a supply and demand cycle. So the more frequently the baby is sucking on the breast, the more chances that the breast milk will be in good amount. When should we start this method? Immediately postpartum. What about progesterone only method? So in progesterone only methods, there are mini pills, there is DMPA injections, and there are implants. There is not much of an effect on milk supply, and this can be suggested to mothers from 6 weeks postpartum. Combined hormonal methods. Combined would mean both estrogen and progesterone method. These examples of these are combined OC pills, patches, vaginal rings, but they can cause reduction in milk supply, and this could be temporary also. But initially, when these combined hormonal methods are started, usually the mother experiences a temporarily low supply because of the estrogen effect of the medicine. So these should be usually avoided before 6 weeks, and if the mother is doubtful about how much is the milk supply, they should not be the first choice. Now, we have an option of intrauterine devices or IUDs. These could be copper IUDs or LNG IUS, which is medicated IUDs. They usually don't have effect on milk supply, and they can be put immediate postpartum or after 4 weeks. Usually, it is suggested that once the mother recovers from her delivery, from a cesarean or a normal delivery, then around 3 to 4 weeks, these could be suggested. Barrier method are condoms and diaphragms. They have no effect at all on milk supply, and then they can be used anytime and can be recommended. Permanent method as in tubal ligation, that could be suggested to the mother who has completed the family and no longer wish to become pregnant again. But again, this is a multidisciplinary team approach, and always take into consideration what is the family view, what is mother's, where are the mother's emotions, what she wants at this point of time. Is she feeling very overwhelmed already with a lot of medicines, and what her gynae suggests, and also keep into account that talk to her gynecologist and obstetrician as well. Now, next is let's talk about nursing through pregnancy. So we are talking here about a mother who is already breastfeeding a baby and now she's pregnant again. So what are the effects of pregnancy on this breastfeeding child? So generally it is considered safe for healthy pregnancies and it do not harm the fetus. So the mother can continue with breastfeeding their toddler while they are pregnant again. Milk supply often drops significantly during the 4th and 5th month. That's because of the level of progesterone and estrogen becomes high, and that inhibits prolactin, and because of that milk supply can suddenly go to very low levels. And there is also the changes in the taste because the colostrum starts coming during the lactogenesis first stage, which is between 16 weeks to 20 weeks of gestation. So during that time, the new milk starts to come, which is colostrum. So the taste of milk changes, and usually the baby who was breastfeeding at this time, they would naturally wean off, or they would not like to drink that much of breast milk. The physical changes, as in nipple becomes sensitive and breast gets enlarged. So this can usually lead to nipple tenderness, difficulty while breastfeeding, breast tenderness, or oversensitivity to nipples and breast. Contraindications. So usually breastfeeding releases oxytocin, which may cause mild contractions. These are rarely strong enough to cause preterm labor in healthy low-risk pregnancies. So usually there is no contraindications in healthy low-risk pregnancies. We would talk about high-risk cases and what are the absolute contraindications to breastfeeding while being pregnant in next slide. nutritional support. So the fetus takes priority for nutrition. So it is crucial for the mother to eat a well-balanced diet and maintain hydration. What are the contraindications of not breastfeeding while the mother is pregnant? So if there is a history of recurrent miscarriage, if there is threatened abortion, that is bleeding during early pregnancy, if there is preterm labor or high risk of preterm birth, if there is uterine pain or contraction triggered by breastfeeding, if there is multiple pregnancy, that is twins or triplets, and if there is cervical incompetence or the mother has undergone cerclage for cervical incompetence. So these are some of the contraindications where we don't recommend the mother to breastfeed while she is pregnant again. Next is a very important topic. So what is tandem nursing? Tandem nursing is the practice of a mother breastfeeding two children of different ages at the same time, usually a newborn and an older sibling. So usually these babies are of different age groups. But obviously if they have twins have to be fed together. So that is also feeding the twins or tandem nursing to the twins. But when we are mentioning tandem nursing, we are usually talking about children of different age groups. So one is a newborn and the other one might be a toddler or a elder sibling. In cases of tandem nursing, when a mother comes to you and asks about what she should do, always explore her feelings. What she feels. Is she ready to feed both the newborn as well as the toddler, or she feels too overwhelmed? Take into account those feelings. You need to tell her that she need to have a lot of patience. The frequency would be more. She might get exhausted. Also, always tell her to check for adequate supply, because though the toddler would be taking breastfeeding only for emotional support, but the newborn is taking breast milk as the main nutrition. So that also has to be kept in mind. And again, sibling bonding. It is said that tandem nursing helps with sibling bond. Now, what are the benefits of tandem nursing? So most important point is that it promotes sibling bonding. It reduces jealousy or sibling rivalry, as we say, in older child. And the older child doesn't feel left out. It also maintains breastfeeding relationship because the mother is frequently breastfeeding. So it also maintains the breastfeeding relationship. Now, what are the points which you have to keep in mind while talking to a mother who wants to tandem breastfeed? You need to tell her that she has to maintain a supply and demand cycle. So avoid giving longer gaps for the newborn baby. Always the priority is to the newborn baby. The elder sibling is receiving breast milk as an emotional part, as just a supplement, because the elder sibling is already on his nutritious diet, wherein the newborn has to be kept always in priority. So the newborn has to be fed frequently. The newborn has to be always monitored. The newborn should always get a priority. If both the elder sibling and newborn are demanding feed, so it is the newborn who takes the priority. And there should be no milk stealing by older sibling. That is, when you are offering milk, if there is a time when you have to feed your newborn, first give a priority to the newborn and then offer the milk to the older sibling, or feed them simultaneously as well. But newborn should never be neglected and is the first one who should be receiving the breast milk. Now, these are some of the positions which we can keep in mind on how to breastfeed. So these positions can be tried with breastfeeding the twins, also while breastfeeding the toddler as well as a newborn baby. Again, want to stress upon this point that feed the newborn first, or feed both of them simultaneously. Usually we recommend mothers to feed the newborn and then on the other breast latch on the older sibling. So what are these positions which we can? So you can have a Upright position, the mothers can try football hold or cradle hold. That is called front cross line. The first picture from the left is the front cross line where the mother is holding both the babies in a cradle hold. Then the second picture is a upright positioning. This also helps, and this is very comfortable position while breastfeeding the twins. Then third one is one baby can be in the cradle hold and the other baby can be in the football hold. Or the fourth one has both the babies are in the football hold here. So the mother can try with different positions, combination of different positions between football hold and a cradle hold or an upright position, and see whichever is comfortable to her as well as the newborn. What are the challenges when you are breastfeeding a newborn and you are breastfeeding an older sibling? The most important one is maternal fatigue. It would be a physical fatigue as well as an emotional fatigue, because literally she is feeding every 2 to 3 hourly here. And because newborn needs longer duration of feed, so she is feeding the newborn for longer duration here. Nipple soreness. There could be nipple soreness because of the frequent feeding and stimulation of the nipples. There could be nipple soreness. And there is emotional overload again because of the fatigue. And there is increased nutritional demands, which should always be checked and which should always be discussed when the mother decides to tandem feed, that she has to take good calorie intake. Her water intake should be very good and she should be well hydrated because she is feeding 2 babies at a time. When to stop tandem nursing? So if the mother feels that newborn is not gaining enough weight, if it's a preterm baby, because preterm babies require frequent feeding, sometimes hourly feeding, and the preterm breast milk composition is different. So it is advisable that preterms mothers are not encouraged that enough for tandem feeding, and they should be discussed about the risk of continuing with tandem feeding with a preterm. And if the mother has any issues in terms of malnutrition, or she feels emotionally quite fatigued, or she has some medications which she is taking and she is not able to produce enough amount of milk, in those conditions tandem feeding can be stopped and priority can be given to newborn babies. Now let's say how to wean the elder sibling here. So the weaning has to be gradual. You are not offering the milk as well as you are not refusing the milk. So if the toddler or if the elder sibling comes and demands for milk, you offer the milk, but you don't remind them that you have to feed. And in this point, emotional support is one of the factors, as well as family support is very important, because physically it is very challenging for the mother to feed 2 babies at different age groups. Counseling. So when we are counseling such mothers, we should always respect their choice. We should put across everything on the table. Call it a spade, how it is. You have to tell them in clear and very positive note, but at the end of the day, you have to respect their choice. If she wants to feed both the babies, encourage her, respect her choices. If she wishes to wean off the elder one, always respect her choices. Avoid forcing, no coercion at any point of time, so you are not using negative terminology of saying that, oh, this would harm the newborn or it might affect newborn's weight. No, you always encourage them to continue with tandem feeding unless there is any risk factor. Always address mother's emotion. Now, before we conclude this topic, let's see some of the MCQs which could be asked in IBCLC exams. So a 30-year-old mother, she's 10 weeks pregnant, is breastfeeding her 18-month-old child. She's concerned that breastfeeding may cause miscarriage. She has no bleeding, she has no history of miscarriage, and she has no uterine pain. What is the most appropriate advice here? Should we ask the mother to stop breastfeeding immediately due to the risk of miscarriage? Or should we continue breastfeeding as it is generally safe in low-risk pregnancy? Should stop breastfeeding because oxytocin induces labor? Switch to formula feeding for the older child. So here let's see point by point. So stop breastfeeding, absolutely no. In the scenario, it is clearly mentioned that it's a low risk pregnancy. She has no bleeding, she has no history of miscarriage, she has no uterine pain. So option A is not at all recommended. We don't recommend them to stop breastfeeding. So continue breastfeeding as it is generally safe in low risk. Absolutely, she can continue breastfeeding as it is generally safe in low risk pregnancy. So this is the answer B. Stop breastfeeding because oxytocin induces labor. No, oxytocin cannot induce labor because of breastfeeding, because the amount of oxytocin which is caused by stimulation of breast while breastfeeding only causes mild contraction. This doesn't lead to labor. Okay, and so the next MCQ here is a 4-month-old postpartum mother is exclusively breastfeeding her infant. She has not resumed her menstruation. However, she recently started giving 1 bottle feed at night. What is the most appropriate advice regarding contraception? LAM, that is lactational amenorrhea method, is still fully effective. No contraception is required until 6 months. Lactational amenorrhea method is effectiveness is reduced, additional contraception is needed, or start combined oral contraceptive pills immediately. So because she's 4 months, so she falls into the category of LAM. Okay, it could be effective, but she's giving 1 bottle, so she is not exclusively breastfeeding. So if she's not exclusively breastfeeding, LAM might not be effective. Should she add additional contraception? Yes. So option which is correct here is C, which is LAM is effective. LAM effectiveness is reduced here because it is not actually LAM now. She is not exclusively breastfeeding, and additional contraception is needed here. Could this be option D? No, because start combined. Combined oral contraceptives, as we discussed, is never the first choice because it contains estrogen, which can reduce the milk supply. Secondly, she is still continuing with LAM effectiveness. So in these conditions, we would suggest her with barrier contraceptive or progesterone only pills or contraceptives. Progesterone only would be the second choice here. So key messages here are breastfeeding is safe while being pregnant. Tandem feeding also is feasible, and if the mother wishes to breastfeed both the newborn as well as the elder sibling, kindly encourage her to do so and use lactation safe contraceptives, and always talk to mother about what is LAM and discuss with her. Thank you so much for this session.